What's up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. Welcome to another fabulous edition of Just My Opinion podcast. It's your host, your moderator. How y'all living? I'm living swell. Feel free to hit the subscription button, the notification bell. Share this with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Let's get this channel lit in the YouTube algorithm, okay? So we got all that stuff out of the way, and we got some breaking news from the NFL world. If you're a long-time supporter or just recently subscribed to my channel, you guys know I really don't cover the NFL. I occasionally cover it because, you guys know I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, but that's neither here nor there. But when something breaks, it doesn't matter where I'm going to cover it, but I mainly cover basketball. I do basketball talk and opinions and things of that nature. But we had to talk about this, okay? The Baltimore Ravens fired head coach John Harbaugh. Okay, so what's next for Baltimore? All right. In 2008, midway through the Baltimore Ravens news conference, they introduced John Harbaugh as their head coach. And reporters referred to the fact that the owner, Steve, the owner said he was searching for the next Pro Football Hall of Fame coach. By the way, did you know that I said that? Said the owner with a laugh, putting Harbaugh on his back. Okay? Now, that was 18 years, 18 seasons later. The Ravens are looking for a new head coach after Harbaugh put together a Hall of Fame career in Baltimore. And the Ravens, John Harbaugh was fired Tuesday after guiding the Ravens to a Super Bowl title in 2012, 6 AFC North titles, a 193 victory, including 13 in a postseason. The dismissal of Harbaugh, who was 63, came 2 days after Baltimore lost 26-24 to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which eliminated the Ravens from playoff contention for the first time since 2021. The Ravens are 8-9. They also finish with a losing record for the third time under Harbaugh, who was a franchise-winning head coach. Okay, following the evaluation of the search and the overall direction of our organization, I decided to make a change at head coach. That's what the owner said in a statement. This was incredibly a difficult decision. The Ravens are moving in a different direction, as at the time Harbaugh did not achieve as much in the postseason as when it comes to postseason success as he had like he had earlier in his career. The two-time NFL most valuable player Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Harbaugh won 3 playoff games and never advanced past the AFC Championship game. The Ravens became the first preseason Super Bowl favorite to not make the playoffs, according to ESPN research. Well, I was hoping for a different kind of message on my last day here someday, but that's not that day. The day has not came today. Harbaugh said in a statement it came with disappointing certainty, but more with gratitude and appreciation. The Ravens now begin their first head coaching search since 2008. So let's get into it. Let's dive in it. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up. Let's go ahead and just dive into it. All right. A lot of things, when you read that statement, a lot of things were said in that statement that we need to talk about. Okay. We definitely need to talk about this. Okay. So, Skip Bayless said on his YouTube channel. Now, he has a theory. I don't know if the theory is correct, but Skip Bayless believes that he has an inside source in the Baltimore Ravens organization that said that Lamar Jackson had trust issues with Jim Harbaugh. Now, that could be probably because of a lot of reasons. Maybe he was skeptic of Jim Harbaugh. Um, and Skip Bayless even said that, you know, uh, Lamar Jackson grew up to this mentality of not trusting white people. Now, so apparently, if we just, I know, there's a lot of people out there that are not minorities. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't understand why would Lamar say that. I will say, as a black man, I do understand where Lamar is coming from. If he indeed said that. Now, this is Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless could be pulling something out of his what, but Skip Bayless said that he has a source that's close to all this that said that, this was said, Lamar did say this, and, this is his belief. Now, I will say this. I think it's a little bit of that, but it's also to the fact of this has been a crazy season for the Baltimore Ravens. There was speculations out there. I don't know if it's true or not, but there were speculations out there that they had to change their practices, to late in the evening so Lamar could play video games. I don't know if that's true. I'm just telling you what was said, okay? There was speculations out there that he wasn't feeling a lot of the decision-making John Harbaugh was making. Don't know if that's true or not. All this is just rumor and gossip and innuendo, okay? But this is all we have. But if you read through both statements, the owner as well as John Harbaugh, I think it's a little bit of, the uncertainty with his relationship with the head coach. I think it's a little bit of, hey, this guy, I have been, raised to not trust, white people. I think that has something to do with it. But I think the bigger piece of why they went through this is the owner has already picked sides, and the owner is picking Lamar's side. And since the owner picked Lamar's side, best believe he probably told Lamar a lot of things Harbaugh, the coach, has been saying behind Lamar's back. And that's why Lamar doesn't trust the coach, because the coach is telling you one thing, but he's going to the owner and telling him something completely different. All right? Now, Lamar is a once-in-a-lifetime generational player. Can we all agree to that? If you don't agree to that, please comment below so I can see who believes it, who doesn't believe it. Okay? But Lamar is a once-in-a-lifetime generational player. They don't look. They don't come often. You just can't just go. You just can't just say, you know what? We'll let him go. We'll get us another Lamar. That's impossible. And you also got to say to yourself, which piece can you retrieve and still be successful at the same time? Finding another quarterback, finding another Lamar, or finding another coach. You can find another coach. Now, I will say this. That's kind of, hey, look, put yourself in the coach's shoes. That's kind of petty and kind of disrespectful The man's been with this one team for like over 10 years, and this is how you repay him by betraying him. But at the same time, the owner is probably looking at this as, hey, look, the man already said that he doesn't trust white people. Okay, believe it or not, guys. I mean, it's rare to find a minority owner. They all are built the same way. Okay, and I do believe he was grown up to believe that, but I don't think that's the main reason why this they couldn't salvage their relationship. I think ultimately the owner was low key. He picked a side. He picked Lamar's side, and since he picked Lamar's side to build trust with Lamar, he probably told Lamar a lot of things John Harbaugh has been saying behind his back. Now, it comes no surprise that in this season, the future was uncertain for Lamar. There was a lot of people talking about, well, maybe Baltimore will trade Lamar to another team, or he might want to go to another team. Now, to me, if I'm Baltimore, why would I do that? That literally makes no sense. Why would I give up on Lamar for a coach? So it's one of those situations where you have to pick a side. You have to pick a struggle. Are you riding with your coach, or are you riding with your player? A once in a lifetime generational player, by the way. This is not no regular smuggler player. This is not a player that can be replaced. This is a once in a lifetime generational player. Now, also I do feel like, even though I strongly believe that, I also believe in the fact that even though they was very successful in the regular season, even though they had success in the postseason, I do feel like if he would have won a Super Bowl with Lamar, this would have been a harder decision to make. All right, and if he would have won a Super Bowl under Lamar and under Jim Harbaugh, then the owner will have to evaluate, okay, how did we win this Super Bowl? Did we win it because of Lamar, or did we win it because of the coach? All right. So to me, this happens everywhere in corporate America. This happens in every walk of life. When you're talking about work, when you're working for someone or someone's working for you, sometimes the hardest decision is, what's more valuable to your corporation. And if there's someone that is extremely valuable to your corporation, and they're having trust issues with someone that you took, that you have belief in, then you have to make that decision of, hey, we're gonna have to let this person go, because this is the future. Now, who could they get to replace John Harbaugh? I mean, there are a lot of coaches out there that are chopping at the bits to coach up Lamar. All right. But like Skip Bayless says, Lamar grew up and Lamar grew up not trusting people that are not his color. And I understand where he's coming from with that. But when you grow older, I'm not saying Lamar is, a kid. But what I am saying, with experience, you come to the realization that you really shouldn't have trust. You really have to be careful in who you trust with, no matter if they're the same skin color as you or not. Sometimes you just can't just welcome everybody in. So sometimes you do, if you have trust issues, Sometimes you do have to step back and let their actions speak for themselves. And if they are a real one, if they're your real friends, you'll see it through their actions. But see, some people, and I look at it like this: some people, you got some people in the workplace that don't have issues with people, but at the same time, they don't want to cause issues in the workplace. Like if your boss, if you and your boss having a disagreement, and your coworkers are listening to it, and and they're saying low key, you may have a point there. They're not going to go to bat for you and go into the office and speak up for you. And it doesn't matter what their gender is. It doesn't matter the color of their skin. Some people, they step back. They identify that there is a problem. They identify that there's a disconnect with you and the boss. But at the same time, they're not going to go to bat for you, jeopardizing their career or their relationship with the boss. So I feel like it's one of those type of things in Baltimore. The owner has to regain trust in Lamar because he wants to sign Lamar. He wants to keep Lamar in Baltimore. He wants to make Lamar happy. And, he picked a side. He said, look, is it easier for me to find a head coach, or is it easier to find a once-in-a-lifetime generational player? That was posed to him, and he had to make a decision. And, to me, he said, you know what? I can find a coach. I really need to find a coach that Lamar, and I guarantee you in the coaching search, they're going to ask for Lamar's input on the next successor as far as the next head coach for Baltimore. Best believe that. They're going to invite Lamar and say, hey, Lamar, what do you think of this person? What do you think of that person? And they're going to base their decision on Lamar's input. Now, is his input going to be valued more than anything else? But I'm not sure about that, but I know one thing: they're not going to take his input trivial and just say, you know what, that's what you feel, but we're still going to go this way. So the owner spoke. I mean, they got this 2-page statement, this long statement, and Harbaugh had this long statement. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But to me, this was not hard to figure out. And, it's crying shame that they couldn't come to an understanding. Sometimes a conversation can smooth things out to get a better understanding. But in order to have a conversation like that, you got to put everything on the table. What you think about this person, what you actually said about this person, and can we get past this? You dig what I'm saying? So, it's just one of those crazy things. Unfortunately, unfortunately, it's a crazy way of, hey, look, I think they can rebound from this. They can recover from this. All it takes is a good, solid hire. And once they get their next coach, that increases the trust with Lamar and the owner. They're going to get somebody that Lamar wants, that Lamar have trust with. Okay, so yeah, that's all I got. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.